Hey guys, and welcome back to another weekly recap. In the weekly recap, I like to go over anything related to the old school RuneScape community this week. Now today we did get a small content update, another set of changes to the Chambers of Xeric, including the very first recolor of the Ancestral set, which you can get from the Chambers of Xeric challenge mode. So for the last month, the content updates have been pretty small, but next week we get the Sins of the Father, which is one of the major content updates of the year. Now this week we did also get a RuneLite update with quite a few changes, as well as we had a Q&A from the moderator team, which we're going to be doing a quick recap of that as well. Anyway guys, hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Now to start things off here, let's have a look at today's content update. It is just called Chambers of Xeric Improvements, and it just has a few minor changes. Now these are more things from poll number 71. Now first up here, there are a few more changes to Vanguards. Now last week there were changes to Vanguards, but there are some additional ones this week. From now on, Vanguards will have a visual cue if their health is either too high or too low. Furthermore, if you have a team of 4 or less, Vanguards will now reset if their HP differs by 40%. Previously it was 33%, and this remains the case for raids of 5 members or more as well. Now if you have the Omelet pet, it will now have a Metamorphosis option on it for Vespina as well as Tectini. The Vespina Transmogrify option now has a Metamorphosis to it, and Tectini now has an Enraged form. Okay, next up here we have the Twisted Ornament Kit. Now this is an untradeable item that is obtained through the Chambers of Xeric challenge mode. I'm pretty sure this was initially proposed with Twisted League. However, it didn't pass then, but it is in the main game now. Now players will have a chance to obtain the Twisted Ornament Kit from an extra roll on the drop table, kind of like the Metamorphic Dust drop. So predictably this item is going to be extremely rare because not too many people actually do the Chambers of Xeric challenge mode, although maybe more will do it now. The kit is untradeable, and you'll require 1 kit for every piece that you want to recolor, which means you're going to need 3 separate drops and 3 separate kits to get the full Ancestral Twisted set. Now the robes can be stored in a magic wardrobe in a POH. Now one additional thing here is by using the Twisted Ornament Kit on the Ancestral, it'll make the item untradeable, which means it'll be kept on death in non-PvP circumstances. Now if you die to a PKer, you're going to lose the Ornament Kit and it's going to return to a regular Ancestral piece. However, if you die somewhere with a special death system, for example the Nightmare, you may pay to get the exact item back. And currently if you die somewhere else, I'm pretty sure you just keep it in your inventory as an additional safe item. Okay, now besides that, there are a few other minor Chambers of Xeric improvements. One here I really like is now if you have a higher thieving level, you have a chance of getting more grubs from a single chest, which will speed that room up a bit. Potion drops now have a higher value and thus are more likely to appear on the top of loot piles. Kind of a nice quality of life change. Now players can build an extra large storage chest with a capacity of 1500. To build that, it's going to require 99 construction and 8 planks. It's now possible to obtain the Metamorphic Dust again, even if you already have it. And unique rewards collected from the reward chest will now be given as items rather than banknotes. I like that because when I got the Ancestral Robe Bottom, it was just kind of weird getting it as a banknote. I don't know, it just seems kind of weird to get this epic item from a chest in noted form, and then for some reason the banker has this epic rare item that you just looted from this giant boss. Okay, we got new merch in the merch store. You know what's funny? I actually went ahead and bought some RuneScape merch. Well, all I really wanted was a mouse mat because my current one is terrible, but my order came to like $40 or $50, and then I realized if I spent like $30 more, I'd get free shipping. So now I have the RuneScape Orchestral Record LP coming in the mail too. That's how they get you, man. And finally, there were 2 minor quick quality of life changes and bug fixes. Numelites will now appear under more items and loot stacks because they're almost entirely useless. And the positions for weapons on female characters have been adjusted slightly to make it look better. And that's pretty much it for today's content update. Okay, so besides content updates, this week there was a RuneLite update and a pretty big one as well. It's release number 1.6.15, 1.6.16, and 1.6.17. There is now an update to the login screen plugin, which now supports changing the login screen background, so you can choose from any of old RuneScape's popular event backgrounds. And I assume after Darkmire, you'll be able to pick that one as well. Another fun thing here is you could use even your own custom backgrounds, which I think would be kind of fun. I think I might actually use this one occasionally just because I think it'd be fun in a video. The chat filter plugin can now collapse duplicate chat messages, which is pretty nice for cleaning things up, especially all those in-game messages that get spammed quite frequently, so I like this one. The interface style plugin can now make your menus partially or fully transparent, which is kind of interesting. I'm sure some people may use that. A few other minor changes here. You can now customize the background color of your overlays and info boxes, which is going to be nice because otherwise I think they were always green. Now the screen marker plugin can automatically select a region that's in, so if you're hovering over, for example, your inventory icon, it'll automatically take that region without you having to customize it yourself, but you can still customize if you want. And the clue scroll plugin now displays which enemy you are going to encounter when you dig up a clue, which is really awesome, as personally I never remembered which one was which. As always, loads of small changes, quality of life changes, bug fixes, stuff like that, but thank you once again to the RuneLite team. Now moving on from RuneLite to the wiki, the RuneScape wiki is actually trying to launch a DPS calculator, so they are asking for help in their attempt to research some new combat mechanics and really just try to discover everything. They're looking for help researching kind of obscure edge cases in the OSRS combat system. For example, what monsters does the Keris actually work against? What's the exact damage boost for Silverlight against demons? How does energy drain from mud pies work? And can you pray against it? Okay, so this week there was the Darkmire login screen competition, and they have selected the top 4. I'm going to go have a quick look at them now. Now there actually is a live poll in game right now, which means you can go vote on the login screen competition. Now one kind of interesting thing that happened this week, and something I would not have known about if I wasn't just randomly looking at Settled's Twitter, is Jagex actually sent out a very small survey about partnerships. However, they only sent it to players' message center, which I know a lot of people don't read. Now the survey had a couple of questions, and it was a simple, do you approve or disapprove of this sentence? Now the first one is Twitch Prime allowing you beta access for game content, for example Soul Wars. Next is Twitch Prime allowing you to enter competitions to win real life merchandise. Third is Twitch Prime giving you access to special game worlds, which could have special tools for you to use like a JMod Rotten Potato. These worlds would be totally separate from the normal game worlds, like tournament worlds, and are for fun only. Twitch Prime allowing you entry into a prized tournament, for example a competitive PVM or PvP tournament, and Twitch Prime giving you access to special events hosted on a separate game world, for example Wilderness Wars. So are these things very intrusive? Maybe not, and I don't think we should have a knee-jerk reaction to shoot down partnerships necessarily, but I think a lot of people agree that these things probably shouldn't affect in-game items, in-game progress, or give people any advantages or really affect the game at all. And that seems to be kind of what they're trying to go for with these poll questions. Not sure why they sent them only to the message center, but well, there it is. Now another thing that was kind of revealed in the Q&A, but I'm just going to put it here, is the Hallowed Sepulcher now has the experience rates revealed. Now these are just estimates, but at level 52 agility on the first floor, you're going to get around 36,000 XP per hour. At level 62 agility, or on the second floor, you're going to get around 48,000. On the third floor, which is 72 agility, you're going to get 55,000. On the fourth floor, which is 82, you're going to get 66,000. And on the fifth floor, which is 92, you're going to get 75,000 experience per hour, making it the quickest agility training method in the game. But having not tried it yet, we do have to keep in mind that it's going to require a lot more attention than these other methods. So we'll see if it warrants a higher experience rate or not. And all of these experience rates are taken into account that you are not looting anything, you're doing it purely for experience. And that's pretty much it for community news this week. Okay, and finally here, I'm just going to do a quick recap of this week's Q&A. Okay, first up here, with the Hallowed Sepulcher, there are a lot of rewards. You got the new ring, the Hallowed Grapple. Is there going to be any additional storage for those items? Currently there isn't. It was kind of a low priority job and it just didn't quite have enough time to get it in before the update. Do you need to complete the new Sins of the Father update to get access to the new agility training method? Yes, you do. With the Darkmire update, they are expanding Mauritania. With the new area, will that affect any diaries there at all? No, the diaries are going to stay the exact same. Now, if you die in the Hallowed Sepulcher, is that considered a safe death? No, it is not considered a safe death. We're actually tracking it, and it's actually very challenging to die, as I think the most the traps do is it caps out at 6 damage, but no, it's not safe. Can we get the opportunity to get multiple of the same pets, considering there are so many recolors in the game? They're not quite sure about that one. They might look at the types of recolors that you can get. Do players really want to grind for multiple pets or multiple recolors? From an engine standpoint, they're not quite sure how the follower system works, so they're not quite sure if that's possible. Are there still plans for the boss diary? The project is still on the schedule. They haven't really established dates yet and what exactly it's going to look like, but it's still in progress. How do you guys feel about something requiring above level 99? For example, a cooking item that will require a boost to cook. They think it's kind of an interesting idea, but it'd be kind of too annoying for something you'd have to do a lot of, maybe as a one-time option for making a high level piece of gear or some other requirement, but it's kind of weird because you've already mastered the skill theoretically, so it's kind of strange to need something above that, but a cool idea. Could brine rats and sulfur lizards get a superior variant? It would be kind of nice to finish them off, but they're kind of small creatures and they're not quite sure if his superior would make sense. And finally here, would you consider adding more rune packs to shops, for example, death and blood runes for Iron Men? Well, it's kind of a complicated topic. They could add rune packs potentially and just make them more expensive, but overall the game mechanic of world hopping is not the best. However, crafting death runes and blood runes is extremely slow, and considering some items require a lot of them, that's also not really feasible. They're not quite sure what solution they want to go with, but they are aware of it and they want to address it in a way that makes sense. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this week's weekly recap. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.